What's up everybody, it's your boy Brandon and we're back with another rotisserie chicken recipe. I'm gonna go over how you can make my un, dos, tres nachos. Rotisserie chicken nachos. The ingredients that we're gonna be using in this recipe. First things first, umbrellas? Nah, some chips. So I got tortilla chips, obviously because we're making nachos. I like to use these, they're called On the Border. Reason I like to use them is because they don't have a whole lot of salt. Depending on what chips you use, they can get pretty salty. The thing with foods with high salt is, if you do that eventually over time or have a lot of it, you can have blood pressure problems. By the way, I'm not a doctor, but it's just what's been proven. Also, you tend to hold more water, so it's which may or may not be a good thing if you're not exercising regularly. So obviously, we're gonna be using rotisserie chicken. So we're gonna add rotisserie chicken. I use about 8 ounces of chicken. That balances out to about 46 grams of protein. If that's too much for you, you can always cut it down to half to 4 ounces. That'll give you 23 grams. Next, obviously we're making nachos, so we're gonna I like using the Monterey fresh cheese. By the way, I don't use nacho cheese, although you could use nacho cheese. But I use the Monterey Jack cheese. It's up at Costco. It's about like $5. If you're lactose intolerant, you can still make this dish. Just skip out on the cheese, or if you have other alternatives that you want to add, you could go ahead and do that. But that's we're gonna be using this today. And I like my food spicy, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a full jalapeno for our nacho. Some accessory stuff. I got some leftover black beans that we made here at home. If you don't like beans, don't worry about adding this into the recipe. But if you do like beans and you want to add it, but you're like, Brandon, I don't know how to make beans, that's okay. You could go ahead and, I don't like to have canned foods. If you're okay with having that, I would just shoot for the organic black beans or pinto beans that you can pick up at the store. That way it doesn't have too many preservatives. If you don't want to go that route, which I personally wouldn't want to, just because canned foods I would want to avoid at all costs. You could go ahead. I like picking up a side of beans at a restaurant. In my case, I highly recommend going to El Pollo Loco. They'll give you a small side of pinto beans for about $2 or $3. So they taste pretty good. So you could go ahead and just add that on top of the nachos. And some other accessory or some other toppings that we're gonna add: fresh avocado, during season, and they're from Mexico. Those are the best ones, by the way. So if you're going to the grocery store and picking them out, you want to make sure you get the avocados from Mexico. We're gonna add some salsa. I like using this one. It's On the Border chunky salsa. Tastes great. For those of you who already like to cook at home and are big in the kitchen, you may already have a salsa that you like to make. That's fine, you can go ahead and do that. Personally, this one tastes really bomb to me. So we're gonna use this one right here. Medium salsa too, so it's not too spicy, not too mild. So now let's go ahead and put the ingredients all together. So first things first, we're gonna go ahead and get our chips and open them up and get a generous amount and put them on our plate. All right, so here we go. We got our plate, filled it up with nachos completely. So we got a nice foundation going. Next thing we're gonna add is the chicken. All right, so we got our chicken right here. It's about 8 to 10 ounces of chicken, 46 grams plus. Then we're gonna go ahead and put it and layer it on top of our chips. Okay, now that we have the chicken layered on top of the chips, there's 2 more ingredients that we're gonna go ahead and put on before we get the cheese to melt. That's the jalapenos and the cheese. So while we're prepping everything up, we wanna preheat the toaster oven to the highest temperature, which is 475, and make sure it warms up nice. So now we're gonna take the jalapeno, slice it up, slice it. All right, so we just added the jalapenos on our nachos. And then now what we're gonna do is grate some cheese and then layer it on top. Un poco de quesito, chico.
I make them say, sex be my day.
Nothing too crazy, just a little bit, and then we're gonna layer it on top of the nachos. So this is what this looks like pre-putting it in the oven. So now what we're gonna do is slide this into the toaster oven, and we're gonna put it in for about 5 minutes and then take it back out. One thing I forgot to mention, I'm actually gonna add the black beans before putting it into the toaster oven. Gives it that good flavor. You know, a little bit of frijole negro. ¿Qué onda, mi negro?
Esa negrita que va caminando, esa negrita tiene su tumbao. Y cuando la gente la va mirando, ella baila de lado, también apretado, apretado, apretado. La negra tiene tumbao. Azúcar, azúcar. Y no camina de lado.
Good. Nice and easy. Damn, that look good. Just put it in there for about 5 minutes. Yeah. Look at that. We just took out the nachos out of the oven. We have 2 more ingredients that we're gonna add, and then we'll be ready to eat. We got the chunky salsa on the border, chunky medium salsa. We're gonna go ahead and open up this bad boy and just sprinkle some salsa on top of the nachos.
Suavemente, bésame, que quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez.
As you can see, we added the salsa onto our nachos. And last but not least, we're gonna go ahead and add some fresh avocado on top of the nachos. Aguacate chico. I went ahead and sliced it up into like a grid, and then we're just gonna scoop it out. Ooh, Lord. You know what's the best part about these avocados? It's not extra. Everybody else be trifling. Stingy with them avocados. You know what I'm talking about. And I feel bad for some of y'all states. You know, depending where you live, you may not even have like high quality avocados. So there you have it. Señoras y señores, we got nachos. We just added this last layer of avocado. And man, this thing, I mean, it looks good on camera, but it looks better in person. Uno, dos, tres. Your boy made nachos.